What's on your mind? Talk to me. I'm here.
The World! 時を止まれ!
So welcome to the plant. This is still a work in progress, but got a lot of it done. We're going to start off with the backup generators, I guess you could call it. Not really generators per se, they're more or less boilers. I prefer boilers because they're cheap and they work perfectly fine. You could either have the furnace or the burner. I chose the burner for now, but might switch back, depends. I like the burner because it's easy. You can just turn it on and turn it off. The furnace, or whatever I said before, I don't know, the coal takes time to cool down, you know, you don't control it instantly. Anyhow, boiler system, basically a backup for the plant. I don't usually have this on because the plant can use its own power, self-sufficient, and that works beautifully. You'll see these multiple pipes here. These are the little fluid valves, basically to have the water go in or the water to go out, either or. Let's start over here. So this right here, these are the water pumps. I don't have the facility power to them, so they're currently powered on infinite batteries, though I think they're unplugged right now because these are like generating water like instantly, so I'd rather not have that on, especially since we can make our own water. Little ladder that goes up there. We have multiple of these across the entire facility. Let's go over here. This is one of the docks, not the main dock, but this is one of them. Little cannon right here because mobs are a difficulty and they are not fun to deal with. Little dock right here. You got a bunch of little cargo containers in general. These are the same ones I had on the other map showcase video for I think it was Stanford Airfield. I think it was that one. I don't remember what I called it. It's been a while, but that one, these are the exact same containers. I think just width and dimensions might be a little bit off, but the same looking ones. And we go over here, we'll be over there. This is a huge work in progress. This just got added right now. I'll talk about those in a minute. So this is where all of the fluid is not made, but this is where it is stored. So without this, the reactor cannot start. Of course, more fluid valves, so you can turn these on, which has the water or the fluid go through the pipes and then to the reactor. Have it off. I think you get the point. There's one up here. This is for the coolant, whatever it is called, but this is one of the 3 ingredients, you could call it, to power the reactor. Come over here. Here we have the transformers. We have quite the abundance of them. I think I might redo this in the future, but for now, this looks like this. Oh, spooky. You go over here, up the ladder, and then here we have the upper area. Maybe wondering, how do you get rid of these? Simple jet engines. Baby, jet engines work wonders. Is there other ways? Yes, but all I need to do is just get power. I'm not looking for anything else. I'm just looking for power, and these get rid of this product pretty quickly, so I am not complaining. An electric press. This is purely for looks. I might hook this up later, but highly doubt that. Also for looks as well. These are not plugged up to anything. That's basically about it for being over here. Tesla thing, also for looks. Then let's go ahead and head inside. So welcome to the fusion reactor. This is actually one of I'm the most proud of this reactor because it actually doesn't blow up. I showed off that one reactor thing. Put it up on screen, please. Thank you. And that blew up the second I ended the video. So yeah, not very efficient. past Anthony. But yeah, no, this works wonders. Okay, sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. What the? Yeah, no. Okay, so this uses liquid oxygen and deuterium. Can't pronounce that right. And the cold stuff, the cold perfume, and then this, the cold perfume, it melts down or whatever, and then makes just regular perfume, which is this one. I'm not going to go into the whole thing of it. Just know that's like simplistic wise, that's kind of how it works. This is where the moneymaker is for sure. This heats up the boiler. I'm going to explain it really simply how nuclear reactors work for those people who don't know. Basically, you have a heat source, which would be the reactor right here, and then you have a boiler system. The boiler system has water going into it. You need external water in order to jumpstart the reactor kind of thing. So without external water in the boiler before the reactor heats up, it won't actually do it. You have to have something else in there. And then afterwards, you can cut off that external water, and then you could just recycle the water that you already put in. The reactor heats up the boiler, and then the boiler heats up really high, produces steam. The steam goes over here, which in this case is super dense steam. Depending on the reactor, that could also be different. This type of boiler produces super dense. I've seen other boilers that have produced different ones, like ultra dense. Ultra dense is not difficult. They're not difficult to deal with at all. It's just the more space that they take up that is a teensy bit inconvenient, but that depends on how big your facility or power plant is going to be. In my case, it's only 3 turbines, which you can see through here, only 3, so not really an inconvenience for me, but if you had ultra dense, it would be 4. It would go through here and then make its way into here, which is the turbine hall, or turbine room, whatever you'd want to call it. The steam from the boiler goes through here. Then basically what you want to do is you gradually want to get it, the steam lower and lower, like, you know, just to regular. So it goes from super dense, break that down to dense, and then dense, break that down to steam, steam, break that down to low pressure, and that goes to those giant cooling towers you see in those like nuclear reactor symbols that are just so stupid. You know, the ones you see, Hollywood stuff. So these ones, I don't know why that was on. This, by the way, this is the boiler's valve. So the boiler steam goes to here and powers this one. That's our external power, or not our external power, but our backup power in a sense. And then it goes to here, and then that goes out of there, and then that goes up here, all the way around here. You might be wondering, why are these pipes different compared to this one? I don't know. I just wanted to use the pipe anchors. I'll probably change that in the future, which means I won't. And this goes over here. It comes out here, it goes up a little bit, goes over here, little flow gauge pipe. Got to have these around the facility just to see if anything is going through, and if it's not, troubleshooting. And then that goes to here. You've probably seen this one in Chernobyl, most likely. And then after that, because this is a smaller cooling tower, this is not going to get the job done just for all of this steam. It's going to take a while for the steam to break down. Well, basically, the capacity for this one is not a lot. You can have about 1,000 low pressure steam, which is not good at all, and then like 1,000 water going out, which is not good. Like, that's bad. You could probably have like 3 of these or 2 of these. That would be good. The only reason I have this still is because it looks nice with the reactor. Like it looks like a really nice part of the building. But what I'll usually have running is I'll have this running, and then I'll also switch this on, and that will have the low pressured steam go down here all the way across to here under the little walkway area, and then go to these guys. You've seen these guys before. These guys have a lot more. This is 10,000 low pressured steam. 4 of these, which is 40,000, which is way better than what that thing can produce. But it's still good though, but it's a lot better. And by the way, don't think that the reactor will explode with just that thing running. Originally, I built that with only this in mind. I never had these, and it ran perfectly fine. It was just a little bit less efficient. But these make it more efficient. But it's not bad that it's less efficient. It still works. It's just not as good. So we have 4 of these, and these are going to be running if I choose to have that on. And that will also be making water, and the water will be going out back towards there. You get the point. It works wonders, really. It's actually really nice. So let's go past that part. That works. That's fine. It's beautiful. Let's go over here. This is also where the recycle water goes. I should talk about this actually. So once your water is done making, or whatever that happens, the cooling process or the cooling towers are done with the low pressured steam. They go out of the cooling towers, the ones over there as well, come all the way back over here, and they go through this pipe all the way around here. I have to have this enabled as well. All the way around here, down here. This system's kind of complex looking from afar. Goes over here. I don't think it will go through here because there's not really much else to go here. It'll go through here, around here, around here. Boilers will get full of water. Wait, that's not where it goes. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense why I wasn't able to see it. So it comes down here, and then there's like this little part in the wall. It goes through right here. I should probably have a little thing that says it goes through here, but for now, actually, all right. All right, cool. This is also the main building. This is the main thing that everyone sees. It's currently turned off. That's probably because the power is off. So I'll have to have that going at some point, but for now, the reactor is not on, so these aren't on. Neither is backup power. So it goes through there, and it also goes to the boilers, and then that water goes through here, all the way over here, and recycles back to the boiler. And that's how you make a cycle. If you were catching on to that, I don't blame you if you didn't, because I'm horrible at explaining stuff. This is right here. You can read that, hopefully. I don't know. I can't. This thing basically is how this entire thing works. This is another key component to it. Not only is this, and this a key component, you also have to have this as well. Without this, the reactor will not move at all. I don't know what this does because fusion reactors are way out of my league. I only know RBMKs and so on and so forth. These I don't understand. Basically, all I know is that if we go all the way up here, we have compressed air vents. No, that's not what they're called, but basically air intakes, and that makes that outputs compressed air. We take the compressed air all the way up here, and then that goes into here. That's why you saw these pipes right here. These are the compressed air pipes. So these go over here. Go back outside real quick. That goes over here. Both of these do. I need to put little, what's it called, right here. There we go. Little support beams. There we go. That looks better. That goes out here. They both go down into this one. I have to enable this. And then that's what turns the little key component on this thing. That and also power. And also you have to set the KYG, or the KYU, sorry, to the power that this thing would need, which I'm pretty sure it says it needs, which would be, yeah, right here. You could see it says it needs that much, and you would set it on here to that exact amount. So now with that all being said, here's the little tiny stuff. This thing, I'm pretty sure just, this makes this more efficient as well. I don't remember what this thing does. All I know is it's like it just makes it better. By the way, these little things, like all of these, are like little attachments you can put on here. These are like all little things. Besides these two, which are like mandatory, these two other slots you can put more. Also, there's another component where you can attach like a little thing right here, a little divider or like a little connector, and you can have two of these little fusion reactors connected together, which makes a ton of power. But it's too late. I already built this thing. So yeah, but it would have looked nice to have two little of these little silos. That would have looked really cool. What's going to go here is questionable. Let me show you what we have here for all of these. Where is it? Okay, here we are. So right now we have the collector, whatever that says. And we have this one. Now, this is also helpful for the main game as a whole. I'm only here to make power, but in the future, if I do need this, I will attach it. Now, this is really overpowered, but really hard to get working. If I'm not mistaken, you need 2 fusion reactors connected in order to get this bad boy to work. Now, this thing looks kick-ass, I gotta say. But it doesn't have enough power, which you can see it needs a lot of. And I don't know how much power we make off of the turbines themselves or how much power we make out of this thing as a whole, but clearly it's not enough. Welcome back. Welcome back to the tour. We're doing a tour now. So this is the little steam turbine room. I don't know what else to say. It's just a steam turbine room. Works as usual. These are the back of the steam turbines. This is where the power is made. So it goes back out over here. Power goes over here. Goes all the way up here. All the way over here. This is the control room. This is what's going to be the control room. Not done yet, but the basics of it. This is the facility power. This is basically what powers everything in the facility. But it doesn't just go over here. It also goes over here, out there. I think you know where this goes to. This leads to the transformers. Sorry, not transformers, substations. I keep thinking they're transformers, but they're not. Substation. This basically powers my other builds that I'm building all the way over here. There's a weird glitch though, to where the rendering distance doesn't align with the power grid. So basically, I think you would have to have both the substation or whatever is powering it and the little area over here rendered at the exact same time, because whenever I have this turned on and the power is producing and going through the wires, I teleport all the way over here. The power stops going. Even though the reactor is going, the reactor's not a render distance, so the game's like, wait, you're not running any power. What are you talking about? Because we can't see it. It's not rendering. It's not going. So I was like, all right, great. This is the main little area. Very, very nice little observation deck and also pipe maintenance area as well. You might be wondering, what is that over there? This is a furnace. I just got this installed. This is pretty useful for ores. Very useful. I don't know the full capabilities yet, but I know it's really good. I have little electro rods. Basically, let me show you what this thing would do. We get ourselves, let's see, a lead ore. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead, put it down. Machine turns on. And it's gone. And then over time, this will heat up to an amount. And then these will all be burned into the ores. It's a very efficient way of making ores, especially on site for this entire reactor, so we don't have to rely on some other faraway place. We could just make it right here, right now. Very useful. Look at that. Lead, it came from lead ore, now all the way to lead ingots. These have durability, but these are the highest ones in the game, so don't have to worry about durability. These will last for a while. And speaking of if they'll last for a while, or you know, durability in general, we have more in here. I would put more, but I don't want to hurt my fingers more because 1.7.10 was not very optimized back then. I don't fully understand these yet, but I think I will eventually, and then that will be pretty good. That's pretty much the facility. I'll show you the startup procedure on how to start the reactor, because I almost forgot about that. So let's go ahead and start up the reactor. Number one, you would want to start these. So now that those are online, turn those on, and then turn this on. Nope, turn that on. How much water do we have in here? Good amount. And then as well as that, we also need to have all the air in my body just into the mouth. Pause. Into the, forget it. If you're wondering what this is, basically this thing outputs these things, and I have no use for them. I have no idea what they do. So I just put them in here, and then eventually when they get all, this entire thing gets like all full, it will destroy all the unnecessary parts. So pretty useful. This needs to be on. Go up here. Forgot to show this off. That's on, that's on. Oh, that's weird. Wonder why those were going off. Must have been like a little bit of like steam left in it. So let's go ahead and turn this on. How much do we have? Ooh, wow. No batteries as well, and we got that much? Don't mind me. All right, so once we turn this on, the entire reactor will start. If not, troubleshooting time. 3, 2, 1. Go. Hear that? She is alive. All right, cool. So now that this is on, I know, very pretty. This is on, and this is also on, so this is making all the power that this needs to run. See that green little line right there? That is being, that's happening because of this guy right here. And then we also have the boiler. You'll hear this creaking. I thought that was bad at first, but apparently it isn't. It actually doesn't mean anything. It's just ambience. These are going, go to the little hall over here, little room. You can see the steam turbines are going. And yes, this thing does work. Like I said before, I had this thing running for like a solid 20 minutes on another world. Exact same, not layout, but exact same way. This plugged in, the boiler, and that plugged in. Exact same way, no difference. Worked fine. Same with this one. I've had this running for about 20 minutes, and it was perfectly fine. So, yeah, it works fine. So let's go ahead and see how much power. You could see those going off. That makes a huge plume of smoke. You can tell the difference because that's making a huge cloud. In comparison, this is making literally no cloud. That's why I don't use it as much. It's just here for looks, really. These guys are what really makes the power. You can hear, originally these were like right here, but God, my ears were starting to bleed. I kid you not. And so I was like, all right, I'm starting to get tired of these, like really annoyed because it's so loud and annoying. So I moved them over here. They're just over here now. So when I'm all the way over here, I don't have to endure the god-awful sound. So we're making that much second out of this facility, which is pretty good. That can power quite a bit. Not only does it power this, it also powers the entire facility's electricity grid as well. As you can see here, we are sustaining. Which means if we are sustaining, which means all this can stay on, which means everything is running fine. And yeah, that leads us to the end of the video. This is the entire reactor. I mean, it works. It's good, it works. Everything's nice. I don't know what else to say besides, yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. Goodbye.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.